Welcome back to What She Says Sports, everybody. All right, it is the nighttime ride out, and let's make sure y'all can see me, hear me first. Oh, can you see me? Can you hear me? All right. Looks like all systems are go here. Yay! All right, I'm gonna be down here at the bottom so y'all can see the screen because these are the church announcements. Scan me, scan me. I appreciate the love and support. We have our first member on Patreon. As you can see down here at the bottom, we're on IG, X, Patreon, TikTok, and Twitch. We are currently live on X, YouTube, and Twitch. So if you're on any of those platforms, yay. Shout out to our first duo member, Z. Recently became a member on YouTube. And it is now a member on Patreon. Patreon, we have MVP tier membership, and it is free right now. So run over there and make sure you become a member while it's free. Because you know, the way things are today, they may not be tomorrow. So as we grow over there, we'll eventually start charging for membership. But for now, it's free. So run over there and take advantage of what's free. All right. So y'all know why we're here, right? We got several topics on the list. It looks like, first and foremost, I might be headed back to watching the NBA. I said I would. I said, because you know what? It popped up in my phone. You know how memories pop up in your phone? It popped up in my phone that the Hawks are back. And all of the games that I went to when I started vlogging, I was vlogging after the games, always filming the games. And I say, I think it might be time to go back, right? So the Hawks have their first two preseason games right around the 5th, the 6th, and the 11th. One on the 11th is against Memphis. The first one is against the Houston Rockets, but that's in Houston. But I think the Hawks versus Memphis, is in Atlanta, and it starts at 8:00. So I might pop in. I'm gonna start slow. Not going back to cabana seats, not going back to box seats, not going back to premium seats that give me free pizza. Nope. I'm gonna start slow, and I might go with standing room only and check out the vibe for 2 quarters and get the hell on and go live at 10:30. Because they showed the lineup, right? The only player I recognize in the lineup besides Trae Young is Jalen Johnson. So stay tuned if you're a basketball fan. Drop your favorite NBA team. Also, as a backup, I'll be following the Lakers too. Because at some point, if the Hawks disappoint me again, I'll have to have another team to jump ship to. And I think that's going to be the Lakers. But Steph Curry, brother, signed with the Warriors. So, I might kind of peep over there and see what's going on. And don't forget about the Dallas Mavericks. So, in other words, welcome back. Welcome back to the NBA, What She Said Sports. All right. So let's get into what's next. So, the Buffs play TCU, right? They play TCU, and I think people are on the edge of their seat, fans just hoping that this goes well. We still rolling with the players, right? This is not a what the Buffs need to do segment. Earlier today, I think I posted what the players need to do. The players, this is an adulting masterclass here that you're in the midst of. You have some leadership, not Coach Prime, but you have some other leadership that might be a little suspect. You're not sure. How do you handle that? Let me give you some advice. Y'all gonna need to band together and make something happen. After that whistle blow, when the first play that they called don't work, I already have a plan B and make something happen. Y'all are gonna have to make something happen because your future depends on it. In other words, if somebody trying to drag you down, y'all gonna have to put your heads together and figure out how you can defeat the system that's trying to pull you down, whether that's your OC, your DC, or if you're having a bad day. But y'all gonna have to band together, and y'all gonna have to make something out of nothing. And you need to defeat TCU. Everybody was talking about the aura, right, that Colorado had when we played TCU the first time, right? And y'all know how that game went. We were supposed to lose that game, but we did not. And this is the same sentiment that needs to happen. I don't even know if Colorado is the underdog or not in this game. I know TCU is not ranked. Coach Prime posted something that, I thought was good. Again, I can't tell you what he thinks when he posts these things. I just, like art at the museum, I interpret it. It said, let's go, baby. Let's get back to the real you. Let's stop trying to appease people and focus on pleasing God. Now, when I read that, I was like, this is for you, Coach Prime. I like, we love you. But I was happy to hear the word, let's stop trying to appease. And it said, you're giving attention to the wrong people, places, and refocus, re-energize, and reclaim the real you. Your today is so much better than your yesterday. Now, understand this. When you put out messages like this, they eventually are for you. So I hope this means that maybe there's going to be some accountability with play calling. I watched Well Off Media, the little practice. I was looking for Sincere Brown because, I told y'all I'm watching this game. I want to see how they treat Caden. I want to see if, he has pass protection consistently on the right side. Coach Prime interview said the O-line is good. It's not a problem. That's not true. The O-line is not consistently good on the right side when they make adjustments. And I want to understand, why the hell are you making an adjustment? Number 84 is out here doing his job, and you take him out the game and put in number 53, and suddenly 53 is chasing the defender who's chasing Caden. That's the kind of thing that needs to be fixed. And I thought they fixed it, right? But it seemed like when they start focusing on something else, okay, we're going to start fast. While you over here starting fast, somebody else slowing you down and calling plays, but slipping in an adjustment that causes a problem. So leadership, honestly, got to get it together. I'm going to keep saying it, right? It's not on these kids. It's not. It's not on these kids. You can talk a good game and say the kids need to do this. Yeah, they do. They do. They need to do their assignment, but the assignment has to be a good assignment from the start. When I saw this photo with the kids running, the players, I said, you know who need to be out here running? Pat Schumer and Rob Livingston need to be out here running too. See, they are not being held accountable. All the other coaches could be held accountable. All of the players could be held accountable. But somehow Livingston and Schumer are getting off scot-free. So TCU is not ranked. So what do they have to lose that would make this game start off fast, like Georgia Tech or like last week versus BYU? But then we give it to them. We're going to have to see. We're going to have to see, because if Coach Prime end up at the bottom of the Big 12, because we won away from the bottom, I think we second to last, then it tells you that they're going to try to use that to justify some type of punishment. So stay tuned. We'll be watching the game. I'll make a live stream so we can go and watch it. Let me know. I don't even want to predict the score, but feel free. Let me know what you think, right? What are your thoughts going into the TCU game? What do you think the Buffs need to do? Or what do you think the players need to do to overcome what's already been taking place? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you. All right. So moving on to the WNBA. Shout out to Asia Wilson, the Aces, the Mercury. They're playing in the finals. I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to watch it. Let me know if you plan on watching it. But congrats, right? These ladies work hard. And they seem to be in the midst of a firestorm. What kind of firestorm? It seems like a little match girl, Nafessa Collier, lit the damn WNBA on fire. And I, for one, am thrilled. And the first thing I said, oh, Lord, I wish the NFL players had this kind of courage to be transparent. And then I remember, it's not that courage that's lacking. It's the clauses that are in their contracts that keep them from speaking negatively about the league. That's what's keeping them tight-lipped. So we got to remember that when we say, why they don't speak up? They have so many clauses. We're going to take your guarantees for this. We're going to take your guarantees for that. And they have a loyalty clause. Remember that contracts are one-sided. They entered into these one-sided contracts. So it's just kind of best that they just go ahead on and go to work and go home. That's it. Because you're going to lose money otherwise. So shout out to Nafessa Collier and Angel Reese, who, the little match girl and her bestie. Mark Cuban spoke up. Nafessa Collier said it point blank period. She was very transparent about the inner workings of the WNBA and said they have poor leadership. I agree, which is why I stopped watching them, because I said they were using racism as a strategy over there, and they weren't investing in all of the players. They wanted to cherry pick a white player like Caitlin Clark, put her out there, but they didn't want to invest in the black women when they were at the top and put them out there. Asia Wilson is a 4-time MVP in the WNBA. What does that mean? Every city the Aces touch down in, there should be a billboard somewhere that's visible that has her on it. Come see the advertisement. Advertisement. It's not existent unless it was Caitlin Clark. And I think that's why a lot of people got turned off. And I already said that their commissioner got to go. So now Stephen A is saying it. So maybe it's going to gain some traction that Nafessa Collier came out and told the truth, right? So shout out to Nafessa Collier. And I posted, you know, when you have your own, it's easier to speak up when you have your own. Remember, if you don't know, Nafessa Collier is co-owner in Unrivaled Basketball. And I believe Angel Reese believes that one day going forward, Unrivaled will be a league that the women only play in. They won't continue to play in both leagues, right? So shout out to Nafessa Collier for having the courage to speak up. Come to find out, her grandfather's a trailblazer himself. So, you know, being an advocate for others runs in their family. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Nafessa, because the scene, like the cover from the movie Set Off, came on fire, because she just, when I tell you, and that was her exit interview. Her exit interview, she was reading and she just lit into them. She just said it's poor leadership. That's what it's always been. And again, it's a black dominated sport that they want to control. And it's not about being a commissioner that sets the league up for the future to be successful. It's just like in the NFL. And I said the NFL took a page out of the WNBA. It's to control the black bodies. If you want to go start a league with all white people, go ahead. Let me see you do it. I'm sure you could do it, but that ain't what you want. You want to control black athletes. You want to control how much they make. You want to control their generational wealth. You want to control how they live their lives. That's all it's about. Control. So shout out to Nafessa Collier, Mark Cuban, Angel Reese, and all the others that spoke up and supported the message by Nafessa Collier. All right, so let's get into what we came here for. All right. This picture should be hanging up in a museum. Why is that? This is art. First and foremost, people are going to say, oh, maybe because, you know, they hugging each other in love, right? Nope, that's not it. They both are QB1s. Don't matter what they trying to do to Shedeur. It's what he is. He's a QB1. And so is Jordan Love, right? Do you see the hair? They both are quarterbacks. You know, the most important position in the league. Do you see their hair? Do you see their hair? They're being themselves. See, they don't like that. I want you to pay attention to the pictures that the media uses of Shedeur. I've been paying attention. They don't like this. We have standards for the position. That's what they're talking about. They don't like Shedeur's hair. Remember they asked him about his hair in a press conference when he first got to Cleveland. You gonna wear your hair like that? He was getting ready for a photo shoot. I think it was a scene with the banana, and they asked him, was he gonna wear his hair like that? And I was like, why the hell you worried about his damn hair? And you got this picture right here with two black quarterbacks embracing each other, being authentically themselves. And it starts with the hair. That's probably the most visible aspect of them. See, this is the scene they don't want to push out to your 65-inch TV if you're white. This is what they don't want right here. This is art right here. This shows progress in the NFL despite poor leadership. So I like this. I might use it a lot. Okay, so y'all know Shedeur Sanders had an interview today. And in his interview, I said, you know, this young man, this is why we love him. He catches on quick, right? What took place? You know that Rex Ryan lost his damn mind and thought it was okay for him to tear down Shedeur personally and insult him because he had his arms folded in a press conference. No, I'm sorry, in the locker room when a media member came up to him and put a microphone in his face. The funny thing is, today's interview that we get ready to take a look at started off the same way, which means Shedeur was just being natural, comfortable, authentic posture, right? I noticed he was getting ready to fold his arms. He was getting ready to fold his arms, and he unfolded them, I think. Let's see if I can get it all the way back to the beginning. And yes, I do believe the sound is on. Let me know if y'all can hear. Yeah, the sound is on. So this is Shedeur. Look, his arms folded. They asking him questions. He's mouthing the answers. There's no audio for Shedeur. He's mouthing, as they say, the answers. Remember, I think it was the player that would say, "I'm just here so I don't get fined," right? Well, he didn't say that. He didn't audibly say anything. They kept asking him questions, and he kept mouthing them. No sound at all. Brilliant. And that shows he catches on fast because he realizes they set him up as clickbait. They just want to get their viral moments off of him, right? Why they not asking Dylan no questions? Didn't Dylan just get the starting job? And what's worse is they made Flacco QB2. What it should prove to you,
enjoying yourself and having fun.
It should prove to you that Shedeur Sanders' movement is being restricted. And what is the definition of that? Collusion. Now, I've heard people say, he got to stay ready. He'll go out there and he's going to start eventually. And let me tell you why people say that. They say that because they know the process in the NFL is that when you have rookies like Dylan and Shedeur, that before the season is up, you have to give them a shot to show what they can do, or it's considered malpractice. I also heard somebody say Haslam stepped in, and this is why Flacco is benched, and this is why they're going to Dylan. I'm like, I don't know if that's the case or not. And people are wanting to say, oh, Stefanski is keeping Shedeur at QB3 by letting Flacco be QB2. I'm like, come on, y'all. I'm like, that's on Haslam. This is Haslam's team. You saw Haslam at Ohio State with Andrew Berry in tow, which means he gonna go out there and select who he want, and he gonna tell Andrew Berry, go get me that guy, which is exactly what he did with Deshaun Watson. This is Haslam's team. He might be somewhere in his $25 million house, but the point is, nothing gets done in terms of personnel as to who's on the team, who plays, who doesn't at the quarterback position. Does he care about the third string running back? No. He might, but probably not. But when it comes to the most important position, how many times have they told you that? And you think if I drag Andrew Berry to Ohio State that I'm not involved in the quarterback decision? I was involved in the quarterback decision this year because I told you, if you would have told me Shedeur was getting drafted so-and-so at the end of the night, I would have told you, he wasn't my pick. He was Andrew Berry's pick. That's a lie. That's an emphatic lie. That is a lie. So Cleveland know exactly what they have in Shedeur. They know they have a winner. They don't want what comes with it. And what is that? Media attention. Shedeur is QB3, but I don't see no interview where they in the locker room asking Lil Dollar General anything. And people are saying Lil Dollar General tried to slight Shedeur again with his words. I said that's why he's called Lil Dollar General. Because he think he's slick. If that's what he's still over there trying to have some likes and clicks type conversation. So Shedeur, in my opinion, this is why we love this kid. This is why we love him. You're not going to ever get the best of him. You're not going to ever get him down. You're not going to ever push him off any pedestal that fans have put him on because you didn't put him there. They wanted Shedeur for likes and clicks on draft night. They wanted him so bad, they wanted him to come to Green Bay so he could end up embarrassed in person like Lamar Jackson. Hopefully, Lamar Jackson realizes ain't no point in showing up early. Just stay ready. Get your private QB coach and you go work out and come on when the season starts, when it's time for you to be there and play ball and don't expect nothing because they're holding you back too. They want to talk about Aaron Rodgers is the only quarterback doing good. You think they don't want Aaron Rodgers to rise to the front of the division? Of course they do. So they can justify not drafting Shedeur as the franchise QB. They have a vested interest in Rodgers quietly over there elevating to the top. Just like they had a vested interest in Jackson Dart becoming the starter before Shedeur saw the field in the NFL. Shedeur not the only one with a late start, if that's how you want to look at it. Shout out to Jimmy Horn Jr., who's just not getting his NFL debut. What the hell was that about? They dead last, aren't they, in their conference? And they just not getting to play him after they had him in all of their media clicks. See, likes and clicks. And after that game, when they were mic'd up, after that, when they played Shedeur, that was it. And now that they losing at the bottom of the barrel, they want to put Jimmy in. I guess that's what it's going to take for Cleveland, but I don't think they care. See, the problem is, I'm pretty sure Cleveland's fans who have bought season tickets, the ones that's not okay with losing, that actually bought the tickets to see some progress, is applying pressure. And it's not Stefanski's decision to sit Flacco. Stefanski just told you, I'm not changing the quarterback position. Did he not just tell you that? And suddenly, he's changing the quarterback position, Haslam. And why is that? Because people are complaining. Now, this game is played in London at 9:30 in the morning in Atlanta. They might push Shedeur in. I don't know. Because at some point, they know they have to push Shedeur in a game or it's considered malpractice. It might be week 12. It might be week 13. It might be week 16. So Coach Prime is right. He knows Shedeur is going to get out there because Coach Prime knows the processes call for it in the NFL or it's considered malpractice. But are they going to hold him back and try not to win? That's what it looks like. And that's what the NFL need to be held accountable for. See, the NFL is functioning like the way things are today, like the way the protection for us is today. It's going to always be that case, as if things not going to ever change. Things could change tomorrow. The way things are today, they may not be tomorrow. So that's why people are telling Shedeur, stay with it. You're going to get your opportunity. If Dylan go out here and check down their way to a win, do you think the Browns fans going to be happy with that? Probably. Weren't they happy when they beat the Packers? This guy right here. So mediocrity. I read today somebody said, well, I mean, Dylan probably can get them to 500. I'm like, is that the damn goal? When you sold them season tickets to them fans, did you tell them the goal was to get to 500? See, the NFL got to be held accountable for false, misleading advertising to people that they trying to get to come to the games. People coming to see a true competition. People are coming to see a sport. They're not coming to see WWE SmackDown, which is fake. Just pure entertainment. But that's how the Cleveland Browns want to get past this year. Check down. And they was going to keep rolling with Flacco to week 7. Remember, I said Miami was going to be the earliest they put Dylan in. So that means something has changed. And I said to look for that. This is called the unexpected. And we probably going to see the unexpected again. If Stefanski was steadfast on, I'm not changing quarterbacks because that's not our focus right now. Quarterback is not our focus right now. And here it is. A change has been made. Haslam. Shedeur's movement. The restriction of Shedeur's movement starts with the owners. Who took Shedeur off the board? Stefanski? No. Haslam. If you would told me Shedeur would have been drafted, I'd be like, Shedeur's movement is being restricted. It starts with the owners. We already saw it play out in the draft. Rex Ryan's poor decision to tear down Shedeur backfired in his face. Now he wanting to know, talking about Stefanski is a good man. Is he a good coach, though? I don't care what he do if he a good person when he go up there to Target. We don't care about if he park in a handicap space or not when he go to Target, which makes him a good man if he don't, because he has respect for the challenged. We care about, is he a good coach? And if you're saying, well, Dylan could possibly get them to 500, that tells me the pressure is coming because they just out here losing and somebody not happy with it. Some people are not happy with it. This is what the unexpected is. Look for it in that damn game. Anything could happen in that game. Let's see what quarterbacks they take over there and who they suit up. They saying, oh, Flacco is QB2 because if something happened to Dylan, we're going to put in Flacco. All right, you can start the game with Dylan. And before you get to the middle of the first quarter, you might have to switch to Flacco. And before the end of the first quarter, who else you going to switch to? The way things are today, they may not be tomorrow. And holding Shedeur back behind Flacco, behind Dylan, shows you that Shedeur's movement is being restricted, and that is the priority in Cleveland, not winning games. They don't want to play with Shedeur because they don't want the media talking about it. But they sure enjoyed the 600,000 clicks and views that they got when he was mic'd up. See, they don't want that. You know why they don't want Shedeur to play and ball out like he did versus the Panthers? Because what happens if we let Shedeur go and we out here chasing a bird in the bush when we got Shedeur right here in our hands and we let him go and he go on to be successful somewhere else? And the person we wanted can't do nothing for us and we can't even get to 500. All hell gonna break loose. All hell gonna break loose. And the fact that they move it off of their position earlier than they anticipated, doing an about face from Stefanski's comments. Oh, we're not worried about that. The offense, quarterback, we're not worried about the quarterback position. The offense didn't give us enough. Excuse me? And then suddenly he's pushed off of that position, which makes him look stupid. It shows Stefanski's not in charge. So Stefanski is not the person keeping Shedeur at QB3. Shedeur's movement being restricted starts and ends with the owners. And that's Haslam. And he needs to be forced to sell that team. This is collusion in Cleveland, starting with the owner, because no one else has the authority. No one else has the authority to run a team into a ground but the owner. Stefanski is not who you blame for being under 500. You blame Haslam because he allowed it. See, the media want to talk about Stefanski. This ain't about Stefanski. This is about Haslam telling Stefanski what to do and when to do it. And this is about Stefanski understanding that his directive is to keep Shedeur at QB3 at all costs. Why he not on the practice squad? You know why? Because then people going to come and say, why is no other team asking for him to play for them? Just like they did in the draft. Why is no other team trying to draft him? And it's going to paint the picture ever more clearer that Shedeur Sanders is being intentionally held back by the NFL owners who took him off the board in the draft, and they still at it in Cleveland with Haslam leading the way. So if Haslam flew his little self down to Colorado on April 4th to watch Colorado's pro day, and he was going to consider paying Shedeur $46 million, why is it that Haslam is restricting Shedeur's movement and not capitalize off of a $46 million quarterback that they got a deep discount on? Yeah, Haslam. Haslam is responsible for organizational malpractice. Haslam is responsible for restricting the movement of Shedeur Sanders and parking him at QB3, keeping him away from the practice squad, keeping him away from QB2, keeping him away from QB1, but he was going to pay him $46 million on about April the 4th. And now that he got him for 4, he don't want to play him. You know what that points to? Fraud. You were never going to draft him. You made him believe that you were going to draft him at QB1 and you dropped him like a bad habit to humiliate him. Bait and switch. Then you got him for a deep discount, which means you knew he was valuable. You knew he was valuable. And you still don't want to play him. So you keeping him at QB3 because you got him parked. And you have no interest in winning with Shedeur Sanders, which meant you bait and switched him from the beginning. This is on Haslam, the owner. And everything I just said is documented and can be proven. This ain't on Stefanski. He just happy to be a servant leader of Cleveland Browns, which tell you what type of time he really on. He just a useful idiot. Haslam is responsible for the mistreatment of Shedeur Sanders. Haslam should be forced to sell his team, just like Donald Sterling was. Because if Haslam wants to bait and switch Shedeur at QB1, knowing it wasn't going to never happen because he's never had a black QB1 long-term drafted in the first round, then Haslam should be sued for fraud. Miss Pilar, I hope you're listening, because they bait and switch your son out there and they mistreat him and want to keep humiliating him just like they did in the draft because they got him parked at QB3. They had no real intentions, which is fraud. So shout out to Shedeur Sanders for not allowing them to use him for likes and clicks. We just talked about it last night. You have to always know where your feet are. I said the first rule of survival is to know where your feet are. You in a snake's den. And Haslam is leading the way. Haslam is one of 32 owners that locked Shedeur out the first round and said he was off the board. Take that entitled so-and-so off the board. It wouldn't surprise me if he was the one that said it. Haslam. But his day coming. Because I told you that people out here who think they winning and they find out they losing. Haslam. So stop blaming Stefanski for Haslam's choices. So let me see what y'all are saying. I definitely plan on watching Jimmy Horn Jr. game. I think I want to check that one out. I want to see. I hope he don't play at the same time as Travis. I want to check because Travis, they doing well. Travis is a difference maker on offense and defense in week 4. So by the time they get to week 12, whoo, look out. The Jags might actually get to the playoffs. I'm hoping Jimmy has the same trajectory last week at Jacksonville. I do believe that BJ Green was active. It's a good sign that he might get out there too. I haven't heard anything else about Shiloh. I just know he out here doing his blogging thing. Stay with it. Stay with it. Don't forget 11 on 11. Can stream it on YouTube and check this out. So you know how I said Under Armour is on to something because they got Gunner, right? Well, now I think it said October 11th, there's an NFL flag football game. And Gunner is one of the highlighted players in London. I think that's what it said. And guess where they're going to stream it at? On YouTube. So, fellas, y'all can do this. And Professor Collier showed you that when you have your own, it's easier to speak up because you have somewhere else to go. Professor Collier also, for her exit interview, she actually is at the end of her contract. She's a free agent next year. Do you think she cares if they don't bring her back? Do you think they're not going to bring her back? If they don't, people are going to question retaliation. So pay attention to how that works out. And again, the reason why NFL players are reluctant to speak out is because of their contracts. They have a clause that said they can't say anything negative in the media, on social media, they TikToks or whatever about the NFL. So it's just best they go to work and go home. So let me check in on y'all and see what y'all saying. All right, there are 173 of us. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. So yeah, we're happy about Shedeur, catching on fast, not letting these people use you for likes and clicks, understanding where your feet are, knowing that these people just want to use you for likes and clicks, takes your words and twist it. Now, people were saying, I hope they don't find him. And people have pointed out they're gonna need to find Stefanski because he don't answer no questions. At least Shedeur answered the questions they just couldn't hear. That ain't on Shedeur. That's on Rex Ryan. It said they got Gabriel start this Sunday, so Sanders' time is nearing now. All right, yep. And we all know who is it up to for Shedeur to really start or not. Not Stefanski. And honestly, it's not even Haslam. All of that pressure that's coming, God allows it. So we're going to see what happens. At this point, I'm just waiting on to see what God does next where Shedeur is concerned. And he might actually get to play in this game unexpectedly. It said, Grown showed out in front of the media today. He mimed his answers. How clever is that? Facts. That's why we love the kid. That's why we love the kid, because you're not going to get the best of him. You're not going to play in his face like that. It says Shedeur Sanders heard what she said loud and clear. He kept his mouth shut. Yeah, you got it. The first rule of survival. I doubt it, but thank you. The first rule of survival is to know where your feet are. And I said it. He in a snake den. I think I said that on X last night after we finished up. And here it is today. He coming in. I hope Kata listening. I'm gonna need you to run to the left. Run to the left, because Jordan Seaton gonna block for you. Jordan Seaton got the highest PFF grade in all of college football for, I think, pass blocking. We know he a star, and he's stepping up like a leader on social media. Jordan Seaton is posting. I still believe. I think, you know what? And we believe in y'all. And y'all have to band together and make something happen despite the obstacles that your own leadership, not Coach Prime, is putting in your way. Understand that. So I'm proud of Jordan Seaton. And Kaden, if you listen, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and run to the left, especially if number 84 is taking out the game. Look for the play. Hey, Miss Pamela, how you doing? How you doing? Hey, Tina, how you doing? How you doing? Matt, Gail, how you doing, everybody? What's up, sis? We see you loud and clear. Thank you. Proud of Shedeur interview. It was lit without a word. Facts. And that's what they get, right? They want to, the media feels like they have Shedeur over a barrel because he's an NFL player. And again, the NFL Players Association, I'm going to mock up a milk carton and put them on it because they clearly missing in action. The NFL Players Association had already asked for the media to stay out the locker room until the guys get ready, or just stay out the locker room. And the NFL won't allow it. Why? Because they have a partnership. That's why the media is part of the establishment. The NFL wants the media coverage, and the media won't access to the players. That's why they don't respect the players, because they all in their face and they private spaces. And then they want to take their words and twist it because they know the NFL is not going to do anything. Hey, Pink, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. Hey, Cynthia, it said, I got to start back watching the Hawks myself. Okay, Matt, yeah. I'm tiptoeing. Trust me. Trust me when I say I'm tiptoeing. I'm tiptoeing. I'm tiptoeing. So, you know, I'm not going to set myself up here. I'm gonna start slow, easing up. And it's so sad because I was at all the games, like all the games that were here, all of the games. I had fun, but I was like, okay, y'all don't care. Just like the Browns. I was like, y'all don't care if y'all lose. You just out here trying to entertain me. Nope. I came for sports. I came for the sports. So I'm gonna need you not to do that. All right. So let's go through the comments while y'all check out the Shedeurian hoodie, just in case. And fellas, you know, we got a lot of sizes over there for y'all. So check it out. Beautiful people. Hey, Zeke, how you doing? Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for becoming a member on both platforms, Patreon and YouTube. It said we need our own leagues. I wish they would just do it. The guys that were waived, what do you have to lose if you were waived? What do you have to lose? Call up your friends that were also waived or didn't get an invite, or like Chidozie. Get together and play 11 on 11 and stream it and be smart about it. Make sure everybody that play is active on social media so y'all can all stream it. If it's good football, people going to watch it because there's a lot of that missing right now. While the NFL is trying to dumb down the league, this is a perfect opportunity for y'all to elevate. People want to see some real football from some of their favorite players, right? Hey, Gracie, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. It said they always want us to look like what they want us to look like. Ooh, that's well said. Well said. They always want us to look like what they want us to look like. Fact, like we don't have no choices. Like we don't have our own thoughts and opinions. Like we in some kind of arranged marriage with them, and we the bride and didn't have no choice. And I just got to be here and love you. No, we're not in an arranged marriage. But I do feel that black quarterbacks are in an abusive relationship with the NFL. I feel like that. If you look at what's happening, look at who's getting sacked excessively. There are no coincidences here, people. Not when we're at the point where they have 16 black quarterbacks. And y'all know Shedeur is number 17. And you see how he getting treated the worst because they know he good. And they know another thing, too, that comes with Shedeur that they don't want. They don't care about losing, right? Because they want to get somebody else next year. But in addition to that, they could win with him this year. They don't want to be held accountable. That's what they don't want. They don't want to be held accountable for how they mistreat Shedeur. They don't want to be held accountable for how the fans feel about how they mistreat Shedeur. See, they ducking and dodging accountability by keeping Shedeur at QB3. Because if he go to another team and you keep him at QB3, they know 4 million people going to stand up. They know that. And if he go to another team and get the opportunity to play and he ball out, why was he drafted at 144? They don't want those questions anymore. Just like they don't want to talk about who the Ole Miss sweatshirt guy is. They don't want that. They don't want that. So Shedeur doesn't just bring winning. He doesn't just bring a spotlight. Accountability is going to come with the player that high profile. That's what they're truly dodging. Accountability. See, I can't let Shedeur get sacked like he did in the Rams game week after week after week. I can't let Shedeur go 0-15 like I did to Sean Kaiser week after week after week. I can't do that. Can't do it. I'm not going to get away with it. I don't want people looking at me so intensely under a microscope because then you're going to realize how I've been operating since I bought this team. Then somebody like this woman right here at What She Said Sports going to sit down and start talking to some lawyers and say, now, organizational malpractice. Let's look at how the black quarterbacks were treated since 2012. They don't want that. They don't want that. That's what comes with Shedeur. Accountability. Because I can't sack him excessively. But notice I can set up Lamar Jackson. I could even Sean Pat Mahomes. But Shedeur has 4 million fans and followers. That's a lot of eyeballs. That's a lot of eyes watching. And people are going to want him to be treated with respect and dignity. People are not going to be okay with Shedeur being whipped into submission. Were we okay with Rex Ryan thinking that he could sit up there and talk to Shedeur like he lost his goddamn mind? No. And now you see the Browns moving off their stance. We're not interested in doing anything different with the quarterback. That's not our focus. But then they switched. Just like when they didn't want to draft him, then they switched. And for those people that keep saying Shedeur missed the opportunity in Baltimore, he did not. I checked their depth chart. Huntley isn't even on it. Shedeur would have been QB3 in Baltimore, QB3 in Cleveland, QB3 in Philly, QB3 anywhere in the NFL. They have him parked. They are restricting his movement. He can't move to the practice squad because then that's going to raise questions. It should tell you that they are ducking accountability with him at QB3. They holding him hostage. Because if he goes to another team at QB3, that's going to raise questions. He's parked. And Haslam is the owner that's either responsible for it and are allowing it. If you are not trying to ensure he's treated with respect, you are condoning it. Like they say, you either coaching it or you condoning it. Organizational malpractice. So that's why they keep putting people in front of Shedeur. Pickett to suck up the reps and he gone. Flacco to suck up the games and now he got to move to QB2. When their job is to find out what these rookies can do for you. But no, I already know. I don't. Dylan ain't gonna never be my starter. He's just a backup, and I want Shedeur out of here. I'm just holding him because we had to draft him because there was this phone call, right? And all the right people were in the room, so he's parked. Haslam. He either decided to do it, he condoned it, agreed to it, but he guilty. That's collusion. Restricting the movement of NFL players starts with the owners. They don't have to allow it, but if it's my idea, then that's what Stefanski gonna do. Shout out to, we got a new member. Okay. Nikki So Fit. Welcome. Thank you. And members, I got some more perks coming. I'm over here. I've been thinking. My new song is gonna be let me through there, because I'm trying to get somewhere. We trying to get to 5,500 subs probably before the end of this week. So hit the like button, please. Nikki, thank you for becoming a member. She's been rolling with us for a minute. Already a customer of What She Says Sports. Already sharing our reels. Thank you for sharing our reels. And she became a member today. So I truly appreciate it. Thank you so much. It means a lot, guys. Because again, I just started out watching sports. I had no idea 3 years ago or 2 years ago that I would be standing here on a day-to-day basis. And this will be what I'm working on. So hit the like button, subscribe, and start taking advantage of the share button and just sharing the video. Just share the video. If you're on X, I think if you're on X, you can repost it. If you're on IG or Threads, you can repost it. TikTok, you can repost it. I think YouTube, you can share it, and you can share it from Patreon. So let me through there. All right, let me get back to the comments. All right, so let's keep going, see what y'all are saying. It said, does Shedeur have to go to England as a third? I think so. What I want to see as the third, I want to see if who they take and who they have dressing out. Like, are they going to take Bailey Zapp, right? Because they have to think about this, right? Things happen. Anything could happen. Dylan could fall and slip on a bar of soap tonight. Who's going to be the quarterback? Are you going to go get Bailey Zapp, or are you going to put Flacco back out there? People asked you to move Flacco out the way. See, they don't think about the unexpected. They think whatever they conceive in their minds is what's going to play out. But that hasn't happened yet, because they didn't think they was going to draft Shedeur. They must have thought he was going to go to Baltimore, and he ended up in Cleveland with a team that was going to pay him $46 million that now want to pretend like they met him yesterday. That's fraud, just as a reminder. So Shedeur being there is exposing the truth about the way the Browns conduct business, their attitudes toward Black quarterbacks in general, and they're seemingly biased against first-round Black quarterbacks like Shedeur, like Lenore Sellers, like Thomas Castellanos, like Dante Moore. It seems like for them it has to be white or it ain't right. Investigation. Watch what I tell you. It said, Nia, how you doing? It's 11 o'clock here, just waking up. Just waking up at 11 o'clock at night. I hope you're doing good. It says, Z said, Dylan ain't ready. That's why. Yep. It said, let me join the conversation. What do you mean? It said, he represents everything they're scared of and hate. Right. He represents what they've been trying to stop since they banned Black NFL players from becoming quarterbacks. Again, my favorite photo that I could really have painted and put on the wall as a sports fan. This is it right here. This the money shot right here. This what they trying to stop. And you see Shedeur being the guy that he is, that we all love. This is why we love Shedeur. For moments like this, he could be somewhere sad, down on himself. That ain't gonna never happen. That's why God chose Shedeur, which means Haslam has already lost his fight. And so have the other 32 owners. Like I said, I'm just waiting to see what God does next. Because people think they're winning, but they actually find out they losing. It says Shedeur represents the new. It says starting with the NFL. It says Stefanski used to be the assistant coach for Minnesota. They might rig the game to make Dylan look good. And don't forget, they play in Minnesota. I keep hearing them say, oh, yeah, the Browns playing against Brian Flores defense. I said, oh, that's right. Brian Flores, the head coach with the lawsuit moving through the courts. You see, he still worked there, right? So you can sue the NFL and still work there. See, the kicker was the NFL was trying to force Brian Flores into arbitration, but the judge said, no, we need this to go through the courts. So I'm sure they hoping and praying that they get their way, because see, here's the thing. That's different, right? That's the unexpected. Of course, they're going to try to appeal it, try to slow it down, try to drag it out. But they said the evidence is so damning that, they decide to move the case forward, and that the NFL doesn't have a real process. That's just the label that they use, but there's no process to go with it. You're not arbitration. It's not a real process if Roger Goodell or somebody like that has to be involved. That's not arbitration. Arbitration is an independent third party, and they don't have that. So that's why the case is going through court. And yes, they're going to play a Brian Flores defense, which I think is interesting. They keep saying that in Minnesota. So we'll see what happens. I think they know a lot of people not going to watch the game over here at first run because it's so early in the morning. It's all of them involved. Yeah. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Karma is coming. Absolutely, Tina. D. Will said, you have it right. The owner picked Shedeur Sanders, and he's the one that will make sure Shedeur Sanders play. You are also right. Shedeur Sanders will be starting sooner than anyone thinks. This wrong will be corrected soon. Right. Mm-hmm. So, I don't think Haslam wanted Shedeur as QB1 because they've never had a Black franchise QB. And if I'm biased against Black people, then I don't want you to be my quarterback, right? This is not new for the NFL. So Haslam didn't choose Shedeur because he liked him. He helped to devalue him because he's biased against him and Black quarterbacks in general in the first round. Cheryl Allen definitely is first choice for the commissioner for sure. Okay. I think I saw her and Maya Moore, Candace Parker, Leslie. What's her name? Leslie. Y'all know who? Lisa Leslie. Her. Okay. So all of them are kind of like in the conversation. But the commissioner has to go, and then the NFL is next. Let's see. It said, I am wearing my Shadurian hoodie now. How's everybody doing? Okay. Did you see me pictures of the Shadurian hoodie? I know I got the crop top. I have to look. It said, Prize Pick gonna sponsor you or underdog. I don't know how to bet, I can't bet in Georgia, so I don't know. But wishful thinking, right? That's awesome if it happens, I guess. Unless they try to tell me what I can say and can't say, then I'm gonna be like Bad Bunny and say no, thank you. I'm going to the Bad Bunny school of how to grow and scale without people controlling you. See, I told y'all that's what happened to Shannon. No disrespect. If Shannon had remained independent, I don't think none of that would have happened to him. Remember, he had to be fired because of Disney, right? It said that's why they hate us. It said the Shedeur supporters because we're over 8 million plus eyes, right? And they know that, which is why what were they doing at first? They were attacking the fan base by saying we're what? Shedeur Nation. Somebody said Coach Prime don't have to say nothing because Nation has stood up. I agree. I think you got to say something, but it's okay. Miss Pilar spoke up. It helped because people forget. Miss Pilar spoke up when they came out the Giants and was saying that Shedeur bombed his interviews, worst interview ever, which was just some talking points to defame him. She said, put out the tapes, and they retreated from what they said. Now let's see what happened with Rex Ryan going forward. They really want to control Black athletes, how to talk, how to walk, what to wear, and what to drive. Right. And here's the thing. They don't really want them to enjoy their generational wealth. They don't. They really don't want them to enjoy their lives. They want them to come and work. And when the sun go down, I want you to go home because you work here. You don't belong here. That's how they treated Shedeur. Like the NFL itself is a sundown town in America. That's just the best example of it. Thank you for reposting the stream. I appreciate it, Nikki. Thank you. It said Vikings coming for Dylan Gabriel. Yeah, we gonna see. I want to see how that go. I'm not saying I'm gonna wake up at 9:30 in the morning and watch it, but I'm eventually, because I don't really watch their highlights. I probably will watch these. I want to see. And I'm on standby in case Shedeur get in that game some kind of way. Deshaun Watson is black. And what you mean by that? People keep looking at the money Deshaun Watson got and not looking at the situation. Deshaun Watson is the only person who could get his contract. 13 teams wanted Deshaun Watson, and he landed in Cleveland, just like Shedeur, just like RG3 after the scandal in Washington, just like Tyrod Taylor, who had his lung punctured by a doctor that still works for the Chargers. So he's in that same group of cast-off quarterbacks, because that's what they are to the NFL. Yeah, he got $230 million for it. We say, hell, Shedeur might get, $500 million because they don't know when to quit. They think the way things are going today, they're going to be going tomorrow. Damned if he do, damned if he don't. They want to control. Right. And I do believe he understands that. I do believe he knows that they want to break him. I'm pretty sure he'd had a conversation with Russell Wilson. Don't forget, Russell Wilson practiced as a Denver Broncos QB at Colorado in 2023. That was huge. That was huge for the Broncos to come to Colorado and work out. Jerry Jeudy was there too. This is why Jerry Jeudy was sharing a locker with Flacco, because they already had history. I thought Haslam and Coach Prime were friends. A lot of people thought that, and possibly Coach Prime too. Watson was okay. I have news for you. If Watson is what you said he was, do you know how many other men were involved in those massage scandals that you didn't know about? Understand that. Be careful how you move. All right. It says, I still think he's being traded. It said Deshaun was never their black franchise QB drafted in the first round. No. People don't understand. Deshaun was not a first round draft pick by the Cleveland Browns. Deshaun seemingly is the same type of quarterback as RG3 after a scandal, the same type of quarterback Tyrod Taylor, the same type of quarterback with Shedeur Sanders. There's all some scandal around it, and they end up in Cleveland. Terrell Pryor, there's a scandal, and he got to end up in Cleveland. Cast-offs. People the NFL expects to write off. Kind of like Bo Jackson. I was watching his documentary. I didn't know Bo Jackson was a Heisman winner, and he damn near got drafted. He got drafted twice because he didn't want to go to Tampa Bay. Then I think he ended up with the Raiders, and he's playing baseball. I mean, he went on to do well. I think at some point they attacked him for something. I think I remember some kind of hearing. I don't know much about his career, but that's an example of a person that made a decision for himself and landed in a scandal. Apparently, at the end of Bo Nix's senior year in college, even though he won the Heisman, he took a private jet to some event that somebody wanted him to come to, like a football scouting thing, instead of taking a regular airplane. And they used that against him. This is why you got to be careful. I said the same thing about Coach Prime, which we know he's smart. We know they tried to get Coach Prime when he first got there. Whatever that woman was that was sent out there midfield to come up to Coach Prime, and he was like, That's why I'm happy he has Miss Carucci in his life. I hate to tell y'all, because I think they try to get him. I think they would try to get him. So good job, Coach Prime. It said, did you see Cam Newton's recent 4th and 1? No. Is it about Shedeur? I think I saw the beginning of it. I'm going to go watch it, though. I'll go watch it. Tell me what I missed. Aliza, tell me what I missed. It said they want to whitewash everyone's culture since the beginning. Right. I mean, that's just what it is. That's what people don't understand. That's why, let's talk about how I never forget, Skip Bayless said the NFL maybe don't want quarterbacks like Shedeur with the big chain. Dart wears his bling in the game. And I see it. But that's okay. You say you don't want players with their big chains, right? You don't want players with the big chains. What do you sell in the NFL shop at every team's location, a big chain with the logo on it. Where do you think they get that from? Black culture. And it's okay for Jackson Dart to exhibit Black culture. But it's not okay for Shedeur to be himself and exhibit Black culture. That's why they don't like their hair. You got a lot of melanin. I don't like your hair. Love got less melanin. I don't like his hair either. So it don't matter. That's why when I see these quarterbacks be themselves, understand, Michael Penix Jr. wear a do-rag every single game. The only time I saw Michael Penix Jr. without that do-rag was at a Falcons game. I was like, are my eyes deceiving me at a Hawks game? I was like, are my eyes deceiving me? Are my eyes deceiving me? Yeah, he took it off. People thought he don't ever take it off. Yes, he does. Just like they think Jalen Hurts don't have any emotions. Yes, he does. These guys can't go to work and be themselves. They're in the environment every day. We see it happening from the outside. They feel it from the inside. That's why I love this photo so much, because this is what they don't want. They don't want Shedeur smiling and being a quarterback. We know he's not QB3, and they know he's not QB3 either, because we got him at a discount. Well, what was he at full price? QB1. And there's no justification for saying he's not good if you was going to pay him $46 million. There's no justification for saying that he's not good when we watched him ball out in front of our eyes versus the Panthers. And we know you set him up versus the Rams. We know you set him up versus the Panthers. And he overcame it. That's what they don't want. If Shedeur get out there, they're going to have to set him up every week. And we're going to keep talking about it every week. They don't want to be accountable. They want to control these black men. What woman walked up to CP? Oh, okay. I think was it year one? Year one of the games. It was year one of the games at CU. And I think it was I can't tell you what game it was. I think Coach Prime was dating Miss Tracy at the time. And some lady, a pretty lady, kind of like the type he liked, because somebody know his type. Walked right up to him on the field, midfield, and he kind of gave her a church hug. I remember everybody joking about it and saying, oh, Coach Prime gave her a church hug and got the hell on. See, when people know what you like, that's how they get you. What happened to Mel Tucker? They knew what he liked. And they got him. So I'm happy Coach Prime is, have something going on, in a relationship with Carucci, because why? It wouldn't just be enough to use it to like mess up his relationship. That's not what that's about. When they go get somebody that they know you like, that's so you can end up like Mel Tucker in some secret conversations and they go viral, and then I can snatch away your buyout. Mel Tucker was supposed to make, was it $90? I think he was supposed to be the highest paid black head coach in college football, period. And they got it. And he was married. They got him again. So I'm sure it cost him. But yeah. Jonathan Majors. Yes, Lord. Trying to get him like Shannon and Jonathan Majors. Right. That's why I say, that's why you got to be careful letting people know. Shedeur too, right? What you like, right? Because we saw when he first got to Cleveland, they had the little girl run out there with the gummy bears asking him how was his instincts. I was like, whoa. Seemed innocent enough, did it? Yep. That's what it was. It said, he's talking about Shedeur and how he's dealing with the media, the attention. They touched on Rex Ryan's situation, facts, and sources, how his, in other words, affects Shedeur's stock. What are you talking about? Are you talking about this post right here? Let's get back to the real you. I don't know. I think he's talking about himself. If not, it fits his situation. The reason why I say it fits his situation is because a lot of people feel like Coach Prime is reluctant, hyper reluctant to hold Pat Schumer and Livingston accountable. And I don't know if he's reluctant or he can't, right? It's one or the other. We don't really know, but it's one or the other. And to me, when I read it, when I first read this, and I think he posted it 2 days in a row. And I said, sometimes things happen because you miss it the first time. And I knew I wanted to talk about it, but I got busy and moved on to something else. But it came back again. And they were like, Coach, we'll repost it again, but you already posted this. I'm like, oh, this is my opportunity. This is my opportunity to talk about it. Let's get back to the real you. Because we don't think Coach Prime is being the real him. I probably was saying it. We don't think Coach Prime was being the real him and how that situation with Caden was handled. We don't think Coach Prime is being his real self because what's happening to Caden is happening to Shedeur. And how could you be okay with that? If Shedeur had to fight scratch and claw and be ostracized for it by the NFL, then why would you put Caden in a situation knowing it's the same thing that's happening to Caden because he's NFL eligible? It ain't just happening to Caden. If you ask me, I'm starting to wonder if, because the Mannings have the passing academy and select QB has Shedeur, Cam Ward at the top. I was like, I wonder if they like trying to shun select QB's quarterbacks because they feel like, we want you to go through the Manning passing academy, right? Because remember, if you look at the quarterbacks that come through the Manning passing academy, they ain't necessarily good, but they do get drafted. I mean, Cam got drafted, but that was so you don't think the NFL is racist. That's why it was a last minute decision. And there were people upset about that. And you see what's happening over there in Tennessee. And it was interesting how Callahan, the head coach of the Titans, made the comment, something about when Cam said we're AZZ. He said, well, he's learning about the cost of his words. I said, when you going to learn about the cost of your damn words? Do not forget, Callahan portrayed Cam Ward as difficult to the media when they was all laughing about it. And what happened next? A noose popped up. A noose popped up at the Titans construction of the new stadium. Dog whistle. But he want Cam to watch his words, but he don't have to watch his. Culture starts at the top. The culture you allow to happen starts at the top. And if you operate the Titans in a way that you can put down Cam, why you think he can't put down the team? Because this Jim Crow. Not only does the NFL function like a sundown town, it functions like Jim Crow is the rule of the day. Shedeur can't even fold his arm. Or you somehow offended by somebody in they locker folding their arms. Oh, he a black man. I guess he want him to stand at yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Yes, sir, no, sir. This is about Jim Crow, sundown towns, and continuing to hold back black NFL players away from the most important position in the NFL, which is the quarterback. They never wanted it, and it still happened. God, and it's going to keep happening. The players just got to learn where their feet are. See, that's the first rule of survival. And the reason I told y'all Caden was going to get there faster than Shedeur is you see how Caden is moving his interviews? You see how he is just answering the questions? See, he already got it. And he going to come into the league knowing if he get there, right? Knowing what it really is. So this was a lesson that's priceless. It said, I think Prime might leave Colorado. He might go to another team, but in the South. I said he should go to FAMU. Personally, he need to start his own league. I said FAMU yesterday, and because we're talking about HBCUs. To be honest with you, I think Coach Prime needs to start his own league. Nobody else really has that type of reach like that other than Shedeur. So the NFL might want to be careful. So it just is what it is. She wasn't white, Perry. Perry told me he missed the trap. She wasn't white. When I said Coach Prime type, that's not his type. That's not his type. Miss Pilar, Miss Carolyn, Carucci, Miss Tracy, they all are the same type. They're the same type. They might be different people, but they're aesthetic. That's what they sent out on the field. The same thing. The same thing. So yeah. No, yeah, the person that they send doesn't have to be white. No, it's what you like. See, it's like they look and they try to study you and figure out what it is you like. That's like Shedeur. We talked about Shedeur. We wanted to make sure, he not out there when he first got there, that he not out there somewhere feeling some type of way about what's happening to him. And then what? He run into somebody who, just like Shannon, he thinks it's just accidentally there, but they were planted there. And the next thing you know, you on the other side of a lawsuit. So again, he has his own, girlfriend too. So I'm happy these guys have somebody in their life. Maybe that's why Travis wanted to get married. So he don't get caught up like that. Maybe he feel like, you know what? I don't want to get caught up. And again, I don't want to be wild out here. So I'm gonna just go ahead and settle down. Remember, Preston High just got married too. So maybe there's something to it. I'm not a man, so I don't understand. From a practicality point, maybe that's what it is. So they don't get used, abused, caught up, set up, and all of this. And to some extent, it might be that. So yeah, I think Coach Prime should. I said Coach Prime should go to FAMU because we were talking about disruption and moving him away from a black school, and not just him. The other black HBCU coaches all seemingly got moved to PWIs. And while the money is probably better, the facilities are probably better. How long you really gonna be there? Because if I just moved you to disrupt you, that's where all of these 2 years is coming in. That's where it's coming from. So, all right, I guess I'm gonna get myself out of here. I'm working on my video about the black head coaches at Colorado, and that pertains to Coach Prime because come to find out, there were 4 of them in a very back-to-back short span, and they were seemingly done dirty. And we see what's happening to Coach Prime at CU, which means he's not exempt. And a lot of people point out that the Prime effect saved him when they try to set him up in year 1. But it explains why they use that tactic to set him up after he went 3-0. It makes me believe that they never intended for him to truly stay. Because why would I allow someone from within to tear down Coach Prime after the 3rd game and succeed all the way through the end of the season? What saved him was the community had made $113 million in 6 home games. And then CU made $300 million off of TV rights. That's what saved him. But see, all of those relationships are in place now. All of that, and with them running out to tap into the WWE crowd, that should also tell you that they don't see Coach Prime long term, unless they think he's the kind of person that they can separate him from his culture, like they trying to do Shedeur, and have him to allow a black quarterback to be shunned for a white one. And you just saw it play out. You just saw it play out. So when I see this comment after everything, trying not to appease, I say, oh, he talking about himself. Now, I don't know what he's really talking about. But when you look at the bigger picture, when you look at the kind of people they get for these jobs, right? When you look at all of the black coaches coming from TCUs, when you look at how Deshaun Foster was fired, you look at who his quarterback was, you look at he saved Nico, just like Mike Tomlin saved Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. And Russell Wilson got booted out of there, and Justin Fields got the hell on. Now they're on Aaron Glenn's case. I don't know why they're not winning. But the conversation started before the season. Oh, he got 2 years to get it together. That's disruption. Let me take you out your defensive coordinator position with Detroit and bring you over here because of the Rooney Rule. And I'm going to give you 2 years to get it together. But Stefanski can be over there forever just mucking it up. Disruption. Sometimes you think people coming to you, just like Coach Prime in the middle of the field, you think this beautiful woman that is so happen to be the type like all the women that you like is coming to you because, I don't know, she just random. And he didn't fall for it. He gave her a church hug. Y'all know what that looked like. Yeah. But now with CU, you're the 4th black quarterback. I'm just not finding this out. I'm sure he always knew. And maybe he thought he was different because of the prime effect. But when you look at how they tried to set him up like the same way they did Herm Edwards, it tells you they have done this to other Black and anybody else that they want to get rid of. There's a way to hold down the program so the boosters will start yelling and screaming and you could get fired. But they weren't calling for him to get fired because they just gave him that contract. They was trying to force him to play their choice, their preference, and stop and hurt Caden like they tried to hurt Shedeur. And if he wasn't a truly authentic person, then maybe. But I don't think he saw it that way. But that's what they're trying to do. Well, if we're going to have you here, I'm going to need you to abandon your culture and your Black quarterbacks. Because how many you got? Ponder, Lewis, Caden. And then Shedeur is 4. The NFL sees that. They're like, uh-oh, Colorado trying to be a pipeline to the NFL draft and these quarterbacks, and we don't want no more. We don't want quarterbacks like Shedeur Sanders. They meant Black quarterbacks. All right, I'm going to get out of here. All right, have a good night. 189 of us. Hit the like button. This was an excellent conversation. I'll let y'all know when. Just look for the notification. And if you're new to us, turn your notifications on. Look for notifications. I'm getting ready to schedule the TCU game. Members, we already have members only live stream scheduled on Friday. So Nikki and Z and Destiny, all new members, y'all turn your notifications on. If you don't have the notification for the members only live stream by now, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just go to the page and make sure your notifications are on because it already went out. I scheduled it early. All right. I'm going to get out of here because I got some more work to do and I'm going to eat dinner first. All right, y'all. This was awesome. Thank you. Again, trying to get to 5,500. We're close. We're at 5,341. So trying to get to 5,500. The big goal is 10,000, but we got to step it, get to the steps. And don't forget to go shopping at whatshesaidsports.com. That is the URL. We have our own URL, so you can find us, whatshesaidsports.com. Make sure we want you to Halloween with us. So be on the lookout for our Halloween promotion. We have 3 styles already out there. And I might as well go ahead and tell you, if you like to Halloween and you are getting a costume together, I am asking people to send over their Halloween costumes that they come up with. You got to put it on and email it to me at whatshesaid404@gmail.com so that I can share it the week of Halloween. I want to share all of the costumes that y'all come up with. I know we have a lot of DIYers. That's a big culture, do it yourself. So go check out our Halloween styles, whatshesaidsports.com. But if you plan it, if you love to Halloween with us, and send me the costume that you come up with, make sure you put it on Snap a Pic and email it. Or you can send it to my DMs on any platform that you can DM me. And my email address is in the bio, whatshesaid404@gmail.com. And we'll share them the week of Halloween. All right, y'all. We're going to get out of here. Thanks for watching What She Said Sports. I appreciate everybody. I'll see y'all tomorrow. 10:30, same time, 10:30, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Good night, everybody. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Be sure to join our daily live stream and listen up to What She Said Sports on the go on Spotify. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Stay for another video.